Well, let me introduce myself again. I'm Curtis Fleming. We just moved here from New York, which I see a lot of people modeling and benchmarking, but I will let you know in New York, black men are 50% unemployment, so it's not really in some areas. And the arts is good to model and benchmark in New York, but in other areas we're failing horribly. I served in New York City in two capacities, in corporate, and I served in nonprofits for the last 30 years. One of the things we found, and I'm a doctoral student, and one of the things we found is that if you don't have parent involvement and you don't deal with truancy, it doesn't matter about any of this other stuff. We have laws on the book forcing our kids to come to school, and parents should be involved. If the parents are not involved, we have two generations of parents that are dysfunctional.
That's right.
All right, so we have to deal with the parents and teach them the importance of bringing their kids to school, and then we have to deal with truancy. We really have to enforce the laws on the book.
Right.
If we don't do that, we have major problems.
Right. I'm a product of Oakland Public Schools. Early childhood development, early literacy, books in schools, youth volunteerism. If you have all of those things, then you'll close that gap, and there is a tremendous gap.
And I don't see on this particular list churches. Maybe it was discussed before I came, but many churches in our Oakland neighborhoods have programs for children. Maybe we can add that in as another group.
So this is a money problem. This is not a bake sales collaboration. It's a money problem, and Jerry Brown's extension is not going through. So the sky is falling as far as I'm concerned, and this is a problem that we can throw money at, and taxes seems to be the only solution.
So you can come up and stick your three dots on, not next to, but on the one that you think is most important, hopefully in a way I can still read it. And then
One dot on each.
yeah, one on three, or you can put all three on one if you want. That's your choice. Okay. Sorry, I have 15 minutes left to complete this process. Pushing you.
We're asking for your top issue related to economic development and zoning, but as Walter pointed out, that is a pretty broad category with a lot of room.
I'm concerned about maintaining height limits on Telegraph to not destroy the neighborhoods.
How about height limits? Is that
Well, I want people to know I'm not for raising height limits.
restricting height limits?
Yes.
Hi, Maggie Feder. I'm one of 6 that live on Wilda Avenue. And my issue would be retail jobs that could support families.
Retail jobs.
That can support families.
Decent.
I
understand.
more than being scheduled 10 hours
I think
a
we
week.
understand.
Yeah.
Live on Terrace Street, and I'm mostly interested in parking, yes, and density and height for buildings.
I'm John Gatewood. I live on 50th Street. My concern is selective code enforcement by the city. The Bell Carpenters cracked down on, and McDonald's on Telegraph has been out of compliance for 17 years and never been passed.
Sorry, John. So selective code enforcement?
Yeah.
Okay.
I live on 57th Street near Genoa, and I'm interested in youth employment and opportunities for training for youth.
Youth employment, youth jobs employment. Sir, I skipped you.
I double that.
Excellent.
We're going to have to create jobs for young people. We're not going to be good that long. We've got to give them something to do.
Gotcha. Councilwoman?
Jane Brunner, City Council Member. I'm interested in jobs for anyone and everyone who is in Oakland, youth and adults.
Girls love jobs. Thank you very much. Sir?
This is our interim fire chief, and I'm your director of emergency services for the city. We run the CORE program, which is a block-by-block preparedness program, so we'll talk more about that after we hear from all of you.
What I'd like to see is Oakland really going after the federal government and getting grants or a lot of loans, low-interest loans, so people in Oakland people making under $100,000 a year can retrofit their homes. And
So you're looking for seismic retrofit assistance.
after this thing in Japan, oh my God, you bet.
I'm concerned with citizen response and block-by-block food and water security in the aftermath of a disaster.
Hi, I'm Arlinda Befford. I live in a 30-unit apartment building, and I'm concerned about disaster preparedness for apartment buildings. 60% of Oaklanders are tenants.
We had a fire in 2009, December 2009, and many people on the bottom floor were not evacuated. I think then I pointed this out to the manager later, and he said, well, it was a panic situation. You know, I think managers need to be trained in disaster preparedness.
Okay, so to enhance or bolster the disaster preparedness that we require of multiple unit building management, to try to include them in trainings we're already doing more effectively.
Mine is that one of the issues that we're concerned about in the Rockridge is people living in the bushes and along the freeway encampments, and then having people who we think should be given 5100 so that they can actually be helped because they have mental problems or drug problems, and trying to get services for those people. And then I live on Harbor Drive, but the other issue that I'm concerned about just generally is having more civilian oversight with the CPRB and having internal affairs have that independent of internal affairs to investigate police issues. I think it would help.
Thank you. How about behind? No? Yeah.
I'm concerned about driving black of any age, because some of your officers tend to harass black drivers just for no reason, like my son. Yes, they are actually profiling. They actually stopped my son when he pulled up in front of his home and asked him what was he doing in the neighborhood. And he's lived there all his life, and so have I.
Great. So profiling, driving black.
Yeah, but I want to know, how do you, like, I always get on my kids about getting badge numbers and the car number, and at the time that the incident happened, if it happens, because I'll deal with it. But I want to know, who do you go to, because internal affairs don't do anything.
Okay, I know the drill, and yes, the money will be used wisely. That's commercial number one. Commercial number two. When you cooked your turkey, where did you dump the grease? On the compost pile, in the yard waste pile. If you have French fries, that little bunch of oil, okay, does not go down the drain, it goes into your yard waste. Anybody did not get one of these? Yes, I got one. Please pass it. It's a avoid a clog type of thing.
I got one.
The sewers of Oakland overflow 200 times a year. Half the time in the hills because the roots get in the sewers. Okay, a quarter of the time because people dump grease into the sewers, and when the grease hits the cold water, it becomes one lump plug. Okay, keep your cooking grease out of the sewers, please, 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 please. Third message is, we've lost about 40 people working on parks and trees in the last 2 budget years. We're going to lose more potentially, so that means we're going to be maintaining less parks. We have programs, and I see a piece of paper somebody had right there. Could you hold that up, please? This one? Yes. Okay. We have programs for adopt a park, adopt a median, adopt a storm drain. All you do is get together with a bunch of friends and agree once a month to go out and trim trees. Whoever said the stuff is growing way up high, yes it is, and it's going to stay that way.
I liked what the commissioner was saying. We got to get the citizens not just wanting the city to fix something, but the people to fix it.
So citizen involvement, are you on Wall Street? Is that what you're writing in your
Well, I have an adopt a spot, but it's already.
More adopted spots, so I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, people have, we've got to pick up the loose end. Everybody stands around and says, get the city to do it. The city can't do it, so we got to do it ourselves.
So it's well, for the more trees in the street and plants, just like we're doing in Dover, if the city may be able to donate the plants and the trees, maybe the neighborhood could do the
So your
planting.
solution is neighborhood, city purchase
half compromise.
supplies,
Could the city
community
donate the
plants.
then the neighborhood maybe could do the planting in
Community
the garden.
city purchase the plants, community plant.
I want more public notification in the media about what we've talked about and what the new director is going to be doing and what is being proposed. and notify the people.
Okay, so under which category do you want to put that? More public outreach, is that what you're saying? More public, more media outreach, okay.
If you signed in with an email, you'll get that follow-up from this meeting. So that's one thing. But I don't know where else
I think
to
she's
put
talking
it.
big picture. I think she's talking big picture. Just put it down at the bottom, a parking lot of ideas. More media outreach to inform citizens of what's going on, to inform the residents, okay.
Yes, involve local youth in jobs doing mosaic and tile work, planters, etc.
Which one
All of them. I mean, at least those two.
Okay. More community, youth involved in community art and stewardship.
I think they're all related because when you go to a bus or you get off the bus, you're a pedestrian. So I think those kind of go hand in hand also, is anyone who's a bus rider is also a pedestrian.
Everybody's answer to everything is slow down the traffic, which means slow down the bus, which kills it.
Right.
We're having this debate on 40th Street. The changes they made on Foothill cost us $750,000 a year and prevents us from running express buses on Foothill.
Right.
So we've got to pay attention to that stuff.
So we have two top priorities for Mayor Quan. All of this is going to go to Mayor Quan's staff, so all of your votes will be acknowledged, but we are going to focus in terms of solutions just on our top two that Chris is putting up on the board right now. We've got bicycle, pedestrian, street safety, and we have pedestrian safety or access for seniors. So what I want to do right now is talk about a couple of things. One, what are a few concrete actions that the mayor can do that we can all do here in Oakland to make these things better? And two, how would we know if we're succeeding? What does it look like when we're succeeding? So if people would throw out some concrete solutions that we can put under each of these items.
Create a one-stop shop process in the city where if you have an issue in these, all public works, traffic engineering, all these AC transit, all the stakeholders can be accessed
through one point of entry.
Yes.